I know you like the way I whine between the sheets. Baby, come over, let me scream and grab the sheets.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I'm coming through with a disclaimer before the video. As you can see, the colors that I have on, rocking my Jamaican colors, okay? I am going to talk about the Jamaican man and why I think they are the best lovers on the planet. That's just one of the topics that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a variety of things dealing with Jamaican men. You might have heard that they are hung like horses, and I'm going to let you know if that's true or false. But this just might not be the video for you. So if you have sensitive virgin ears, or you got the Holy Ghost spirit all going through you, I don't want to offend you, so I'm letting you know to click off before this video gets started, because I'm going all the way in. I'm going to have no filter, and I'm going to tell it all. Jamaican men only want American, UK, and Canadian women for green cards. Is that fact or is that fiction? I'm going to say that that is fiction. In some cases, it does happen where men, it's an arrangement, agreement, might be financial, might be whatever. I ain't going to spill too much tea because, Donald Trump is already trying to do certain type of things. However, there are plenty of Jamaican men who marry American women who have been married to them for a long time, stayed married to them, committed to them, have children with them, family with them, houses with them, and it's not on no green card type of BS. So you can't just assume that if a Jamaican man is trying to get to meet you, that instantly he's looking for a green card. Now, I will say this, you have a lot of women who I think watch one too many episodes of Stella Got Her Groove Back, and they go down to Jamaica and they be trying to find a man, and they be looking busted and disgusted. Some of them be old and crusty. Some of them be looking young and rough. And it's like, you look at these women, and then you look at the man that they're with, and if you just put two and two together, it's obvious that it has to be some type of arrangement, or that the man is only looking to benefit. I don't blame him. You have to do what you have to do. But when it comes to the green card situation, no, all Jamaican men do not use women for green cards. So that is, in fact, a fiction. It is not true. So they have the best and the biggest in the world?
Reach your climax, girl, anytime, know me ready. Receive what me have a give for. Good loving every day that you live for.
So is that a fact or is that fiction? This might offend a couple of people because some other people might get mad or they might get jealous. But I'm going to have to be honest with you and let you know that they are absolutely the best in the entire world. There is no other person in any other country, on any other island, that has better sex than the Jamaican man. Now, do they have the biggest penises in the world? I will say probably 90% of them do, not all of them, but even the ones who don't, I'll say it's almost like it's been dipped in sugar. And I will have to say that cane sugar, the real sugar from Jamaica, because it's still sweet. Now, I'm going to have to cut my fan on and cool down. I'll switch to another subject, but I'll come back to some more of that in a little bit. But I will tell you this. One thing about the Jamaican man, you have to know how the women, especially in dance hall, and how they dance and they wind and they grind and they can do head top and spin tops. So if you're going to get yourself a Jamaican man, you damn sure better get up in that bed and you better put on your A game. Because if you get in that bed and you lay down dead like a corpse, he going to have to let you go. Are Jamaican men aggressive and abusive? Fact or fiction? When it comes to that, I feel like it's inappropriate for me to put a class of people or a group of people and say all of them are this way or that way. I know I did it with a couple other things earlier, but if the loving is good, the loving is good. I'm just saying, okay? But I feel like, you have women who are abusive, you have men who are abusive and aggressive, who live in different places all throughout the world. So it's not right to just put all Jamaican people in the category and say they are aggressive or they are abusive. I've met some of the sweetest Jamaican men in my entire life. They don't even cuss, don't argue, definitely don't do no hitting, don't do no nothing. I've also come across a crazy ass fucking Jamaican who was possessive, obsessive. He put fucking obeah on me. That's a whole nother story. That could be a whole nother story time, which I don't even think I'll ever even bring that to YouTube, because it's just too deep and most of y'all wouldn't even understand about obeah and just how far people can go when they want to take set on you. So anyway, with that, I'm just going to say it's unfair for me to put them all in one class. And there are so many different types of Jamaican men. You have Jamaican men who have never left the island. And I say island, but of course we know it's a country, who have never left the country before. You have Jamaican men who left as a child, 10 or 11, 12 years old. So they're kind of Americanized. And then you also have the Jamaican man who might have came here when he's 35, 40 years old, or maybe even 50. So he's kind of already set in his ways, and he already has his roots within him. So all Jamaican men are not going to behave the same way. Even if you're in Jamaica, countrymen versus city men don't act the same. So yeah, on that one, I cannot give a yes or a no. I think that all people are capable of being aggressive or abusive, but I'm not going to put Jamaican men in the category and say that they're all abusive and aggressive. It's also on what you accept, what you allow. If you allow a person to put their hands on you the first time, they're going to do it the second time. Do all Jamaican men smoke weed? Is that fact or fiction? That would be like asking, do all men in America smoke crack? Absolutely not. There are plenty of Jamaican men who don't smoke weed at all. And weed is not even legal in Jamaica for those who think that it is. I mean, yes, people smoke and it's not like a big thing, you know what I'm saying? But you can still get a ticket and things like that for it. So, but no, all Jamaican men don't smoke weed. Jamaican men will never show PDA in public. Is that a fact or is that fiction? I'm going to put it to you like this. I mean, yes, they will show public displays of affection, but it's not really common to just see a man and a woman or a couple up and down the street holding hands and kissing and making out and doing all of these kind of things. One time I was at KFC in Old Harbor trying to mind my damn business, and there was a couple behind me, a younger couple, and they was tongue kissing and doing all this stuff, and I thought that was the craziest for me because I wasn't really used to seeing that. That was new for me, because here, you know what I'm saying, people would be doing everything short of giving head in the middle of the street. So I mean, you know, in Jamaica you might see, you know, some people at the park and they walking around the park and so on and so forth, but you're just not going to see anything too aggressive and too lovey-dovey. And that's, again, I'm speaking if you're in Jamaica. If you have a Americanized Jamaican man, then of course he might do the PDA and all that kind of stuff if he's here. But like I said, we have different types of Jamaican men. Jamaican men will not tolerate any embarrassment in front of friends, family, in public. Is that fact or fiction? That is definitely a fact. If there is one way that you want to end your relationship and never make it work again, is to try to humiliate a Jamaican man. They cannot take embarrassment. They have a lot of pride. So all the lipping and, you know, especially American women, we can come across or been told we can be a little bit rude and say things that are a little bit inappropriate. But as far as the Jamaican man, as far as like you just talking to him reckless, airing out his business, saying rude stuff to him in front of his friends or family. Like certain things you might be able to get away with when it's just you and him in a house and you're talking. But as far as like going out in public, you at the store, you at the mall, you doing whatever, and you're going to try to loud talk him in front of some people, oh no, that's not going to work. And once you shame him, trust me, once you shame him, you will never get him back again. One prime example, I'm not going to say the lady name, but the lady took the Jamaican Man stuff and put his clothes in some scandal bag. And she put it in some scandal bag and put it outside the door, done deal. Relationship over, and will never be a relationship again. Certain Jamaican men have this certain level of pride, and they're just not going to tolerate disrespect, period. Jamaican men will not wife a woman they can't cook. Is that fact or is that fiction? I'm going to go with fact. The fact that they are brought up, raised on good food, mothers who can cook, who get up in the morning soaking peas and cutting onions and peppers and seasoning the chicken and letting it marinate and do all of that good stuff. He can't go from having some oxtail and fish and curry chicken and stew peas and fish soup. He can't go from having that to having fucking boiled hot dogs and beans. So basically, if you're one of those people that want to give him a banquet meal in the microwave, you can cancel Christmas on that, because he's not going to have that. Are all Jamaican men homophobic? Is that a fact or is that fiction? Well, it's a little bit complicated, because the truth be told, they have gay men in Jamaica. They have gay women in Jamaica. However, I'm still going to go with it being a fact. I know this might offend some people, but this is my truth from my eyes, from what I see, what I saw, my experience, me living there, my family, me traveling, going back and forth to Jamaica. So I'm going to say fact. Now, I will say this, and I said this on a previous video. Jamaicans do not go around and kill people just for being gay. That is a fiction. That is not true. That is false. Most of the gay people who get killed in Jamaica is a lover's quarrel. It's two men who got into an argument and one killed the other, or two women, or whatever the case may be. It's usually never where they just see a gay person and they decide to go and kill them. That's never really the case. The thing with Jamaica is it's kind of like when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. And Jamaica is a country which has the most churches of anywhere in the world, as much as they have as many liquor stores as anywhere in the world. And religion is taught in school, and homosexuality is taught that it's wrong. So children are brought up to believe that and think that. So people can't really knock them for their beliefs, because that is what they are taught. And then there are times where it was a guy, which I know this might upset some people. I actually got blocked from I think it was Huffington Post, because I think his name was Dwayne Jones. Well, he decided to go to a dance or whatever, and he dressed up as a woman. And all here in America, it might be okay to be considered to be transgender or whatever the case may be, but he went to this dance not letting anyone know that he was a man, and he was whining and grinding and pop locking. And when the guy that he was dancing with found out, because his so-called friend, which was a girl, ended up telling the guy, did you know that's really a guy? They ended up killing him. And I'm not saying it's right that they kill him, but at the same time, like I said, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So him knowing, and him being Jamaican, and him knowing what it is, you don't go to no party dressed up, skinning out, and bumping and grinding on the next man. I feel like at that point, you're forcing your sexuality on someone else, because you're going to a straight party, you're presenting yourself as a woman, and then you also put yourself in danger. And his friend ran, his friend got away, but they caught up with him. I'm going to get into some more topics that are going to be a little bit touchy. I've been trying to go in between because I know y'all might can't handle everything at one time, but it is what it is. Young M.A. is not Jamaican, but was there and wants to be a man, ? So let me go there. I definitely don't want to get off track, but I just want to address this situation since we were just talking about what we just talked about Jamaican men being homophobic. And we all know that young M.A. had got arrested in Jamaica at the airport, and apparently she was wearing a strap on 9 inches, and some people thought that was weird, like, you know, what's the big deal or whatever. But what people don't understand is that you cannot come into Jamaica, okay? Even if they thought it was a weapon or whatever, or even if they knew what it was, she cannot do that. Those things are not allowed, okay? It is, you can, like, same sex is illegal. Like, all of those things, even having pornography pictures, nude pictures. Even if I was to travel to Jamaica and I had pictures of my own self butt ass naked in my purse, that is illegal. So the fact that she got arrested and that was it, she should be happy. And knowing how Jamaica is set up, all you gotta do is get the police a little bit of lunch money and you're good. But I mean, in the wrong part of town, they could have took her somewhere, because it has happened with women before, and they do a little something to them, and she might have been wanting some of that good chocolate stick, okay? I'm just saying, she would have came back, and instead of being young M.A., she'd have had her hair curled up, all done up, and she would have got turned out by the Jamaican man. I'm just saying, y'all might get offended, but I'm just saying, if she had some of that good Jamaican dick, trust me, she wouldn't want women no more. The thing you never say to a Jamaican man, I mean, like, never.
Please go and suck your mother.
Jamaican culture and why Safaree will never take Nicki Minaj back. I'm just going to call a kid and call this a fact that he will never, ever, ever be with Nicki Minaj again. And the reason why is because, like I already told you guys, Jamaican men are full of pride. They do not like embarrassment, and I feel like Nicki Minaj has embarrassed him in every way possible. She didn't even like try to go get with the mailman or somebody that nobody knew. She went to a public relationship. She was kissing him, you know, Meek on stage, grabbing him by his crotch, doing all kind of things to humiliate him. In the eyes of a Jamaican man, that is what you call damaged goods. It's just certain things that you just don't know. It's kind of like, you know, you don't go mess with your friend's friend. Like, that might be some stuff you do over here, but over there, you kind of don't be loving the crew. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like Nicki that made her rounds. It's not a good look. So even though, you know, technically Safaree is American, but he still got that Jamaican DNA running through him, I will never say that he will not work with her again business-wise, because Jamaicans are great entrepreneurs. They're about that bag. They're about that bread. They're about that money. So if he sees an opportunity, listen to the word opportunity. I didn't say opportunist, because I feel like Nicki Minaj is who she is because of Safaree. And Nicki does not give him that credit. But if he got the opportunity to work with her again, would he do it? I believe he would, because he knows it's money to be made. But would he get in the bed and touch that, which is like damaged goods? He would never do it. I mean, let me take that back. He might tap it 1 or 2 times on the low and don't tell nobody, but it will never be publicly like Chris Brown and Rihanna, where they got back together and they were all lovey-dovey. Like, once you make a fool out of a Jamaican man, they don't ever want to have anything to do with you again. It's done. It's over. It's cut. Jamaican men will not perform oral sex. Is it fact or is it fiction? This one is going to get me into a lot of trouble. This is going to be the one that's going to have the Jamaican men cussing me out in the comment section or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, it's a fact that they will do it. If they are smitten by the kitten, they will take a licking, okay? However, it's not something that they talk about. It's a taboo. So it's kind of something where you're supposed to keep it on the down low. You're not supposed to be airing out the business, telling your friends, telling your homies. But I would say 9 out of 10 do it. I came across one I was with that would not give in at all, and I was like, wow. But I mean, he didn't eat pork, he didn't eat chicken, so I was like, the fuck, what more can I expect? That's going to be the end of my video. I didn't want to make it too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Beat up me fat pum pum underneath. Man tell me say me little pum pum sweet. Him like how me bubble and wine inna the sheet. The man a say me smell good between the sheets.